advantages and
should you reach out only to those leads who visited a product or service page, or should you reach out also to companies which visited, for example, a guide in your blog?
Yeah. So good question. How many resources do you have? So if you have a large sales team and you're hunting for leads and you're hungry, then follow up with anybody you can qualify, right? If they're in your niche and your target market, go for it. If you don't have the resources to do that, we generally, as you said, recommend following up with the people that visit pages on the website that qualify them, that spend more time on the website that would qualify them as a good lead, and they visit more pages. So the actual number of pages that they viewed is greater. And that doesn't have to just be a product or service page. Look at your case study pages. So are they going through your case studies? Did they go to your contact form page and then not fill out your contact form? So those are some other pages that you generally want to look at to help qualify.
Nick, I have a question. What is the most, like, you've seen a lot of cases of people outreaching, right, these companies, which you can see through visitor queue. What are the most authentic, original cases of follow-up? You've seen a lot of customers. You could give us an example or a few examples.
Yeah, absolutely. So this one I recommend if you're dealing with someone that's in a more modern business. So someone in a tech business, if you're selling software to another early startup or a company that understands technology. And what I say by that is, if don't try this approach if you're selling to someone that's been in business for 60 years and doesn't understand the technology landscape. And to preface that, the most authentic one that we see is, hey, I saw you were on our website. Where did our website not meet your needs, or where did we not meet your needs? And the reason I say follow up with them in that approach, if they're more a modern company, because someone that's been in business for 60 years or 70 years or an older company might not understand this tech's out there, and they might be a little creeped out that you're following up, or that you're able to see that you're on their website. But a lot of the time, if you're following up in that manner, generally these people understand at a more modern company. So that's the most authentic one I've seen, and the one we recommend, and the one we've used in the past as well.
Cool. Two last questions I have.
Yeah,
First
for sure.
one, what are your 3 core learnings of running a bootstrapped startup?
3. So I always say this one, cash flow is analyzed daily, if not weekly. So analyze your cash flow on a weekly basis at the minimum. So how did this week go? Did cash come in? Did cash go out? Where do I sit now? Am I close to my projection? So I every Friday, it's in my calendar. It's a reoccurring event where I reflect on my cash flow. I see where I am, where I need to be, if any changes need to be made. That's a good part about where we are. We have a lot of flexible costs. We don't have any large fixed costs. So we're able to adjust based on how the month's going to ensure cash flow is at an appropriate level. So cash is king. Everyone knows that, but analyze it and treat it as it is king. Core learnings. Have a plan for ROI. So every dollar you spend, be able to see the ROI that would come out of that, and tap into it as soon as possible. So what I say by that is run these tests, as I said we did, and then show which campaigns have the highest ROI, and then go out and tap out those campaigns and that channel as much as possible. So an example, if you're seeing an 850% ROI on Facebook ads, 200% on your LinkedIn ads, and 100% on your AdWords ads, don't even spend money on the last two. Go throw everything into Facebook, tap it out while you can, and then look at those additional channels that you can use to expand it and get those additional clients. So I'd say ensure that you have a plan for ROI and that you capitalize on ROI in every dollar you spend. And with that, I'd say you don't need t-shirts. Like right away, you don't need t-shirts or fancy hats or anything like that. While they're cool, they are not likely to have a strong ROI, and you're not likely to. And while it's a $40 expense, that $40 could have been spent on AdWords and got you a new client. You can always find efficient ways to pay yourself. So I'd say that's my last one. And I've paid myself in different ways throughout this journey. So I've used my own savings to cover myself for 4 months while the company couldn't pay me a salary. I then was paying myself through a shareholder loan, taking back out the money that I put into and obviously be cognizant of your local accounting laws. But you can always be creative in how you pay yourself. And then you can pay yourself via dividends. That way you're not paying your sales tax. And obviously there's some accounting issues there. There's some accounting caveats there as well that you need to be aware of, but there's always efficient and interesting ways you can pay yourself that will save the company money rather than drawing a regular salary.
Cool. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That's really interesting. And last question I want to ask you, what is your favorite business book you can recommend everybody? And what is your favorite nonfiction book?
I'd say nonfiction. I'll start there. Okay, I'll start with my favorite book. I'm gonna say two because I'm reading the second one right now. The Hard Thing About Hard Things by Ben Horowitz. Yep. Great book. I'll usually highly recommended. I recommend if you're going into business the first time, read it. And then if you're halfway through your business or 5 years into your entrepreneurship journey, read it again. Yeah, there you go.
Got it here,
it's yeah. How many times have you read it? Just the one? Twice. There you go.
Twice,
yeah. I always recommend reading it twice. And if you can, read it before you start a business because it won't relate as much. And then halfway through your first business or 5 years into entrepreneurship, read it again because you'll be like, oh, he's really right about get punched in the face multiple times.
Yeah.
And the second one, if you like that one, actually, Onward by Howard Schultz. I
don't know that one, actually.
Story of Starbucks, and it's really good. If you like The Hard Thing About Hard Things, Onward's also great because it talks about similar stories about how Starbucks was he had to leave as the CEO of Starbucks he had stepped down and was just on the board for a number of years, and then had to come back and step back in as the CEO to lead the company through a turbulent time of 2006 to 2010, where there was the economy collapsing. There were a number of issues internally with Starbucks. Consumer behavior was changing, and I'm 90% of the way through that book, and it's great. And definitely recommend if you like The Hard Thing About Hard Things. And then I was still thinking about nonfiction on the top of my head, but no, I don't have any. No, I don't. No, I don't have anything.
No. Okay. Thank you so much for being our guest. Lots of great tips, lots of great insights, and thanks a lot for sharing frankly your journey. That was really interesting. Just for our listeners, I want to mention that in podcast description, you'll find links to Nick's profile, Visitor Q website, and the books Nick mentioned. As I told earlier, fingers crossed for your success. I hope you have a great ambitions, and I hope you'll definitely become a market leader in this category. At least me and Steph wish you to reach the spot. And I hope, we'll stay in touch, and I hope we'll, in 1 year, we'll have a new chat talking about how did you grow the market, how did you become a market leader.
Absolutely. I look forward to that, to the yearly touch base, and I appreciate your guys' time, and that was a lot of fun.
All right. See you in a year.
Thank you.
Yeah. See you in 1 year. The count's on. The count's on. All right.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Take care.
Thanks,
Cheers.
guys.
Cheers.
Bye now.